They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
No, hold up, pull my out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. I'm in it, loaded, do I have to?
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
On 1st and 10, Erickson. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll pitch it out to McCoy. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On 3rd and 2, Erickson. And Tate's got it. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And down inside the 15 he goes. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Set. 319. 319.
On second down, it's McCoy. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick here is good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This is taken at his 4. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Five-man box. Get down, get down. 185.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
On first down, Carr. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
Well, I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. first down carry here for McCoy. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Throwing on first down. Erickson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They go play action here on first down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
12 jumbo. Put 5-man box.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He can't get him down. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Yeah, 98's down. 58-98. Down. 180. 93. Yeah, 98's down. 58-98.
Now a handoff looking right. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Wilson, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look. The defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
A give to McCoy. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Green 39. Check 50. Check 50.
This give is to McCoy. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on second down, Erickson. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
All right, here we go.
Riddick for the carry. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Set.
10th carry now for McCoy. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. Operating from the gun, Erickson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Set. Waiting. Hey. Big 20.
Now they try the right side here. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll try and run the sweep to McCoy. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Looking to throw on second down. Erickson. He completes it to Abdullah. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 7, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. On third down, Erickson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. The 20, 10, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Point after, right down the middle. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Over the middle, it's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Here we go.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Stafford. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And running with power here. And he's giving his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin. quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Detroit!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Tease Tabor. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Moving backwards on 1st down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Able to push his way through, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Back to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Leopard! Now let's go! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. And he stopped immediately there. Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down.
Being strong up the middle is imperative. I don't care what your sport, but in football, when you've got a D tackle who can contribute not only to occupying bodies, but also making plays on the ball carrier, that's when you have the cornerstone of a solid run defense.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Green 39. Green 39.
To throw on 2nd down. Erickson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, Erickson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Partner, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows him sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there at 22.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This quarterback now just 3 of 6 throwing it, but that last completion gets a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
Looking to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So that one will be accepted. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
This is McCoy. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Again, it's McCoy. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Set. 319. 319.
Looking to throw. Erickson. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 5th. Five-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
There we go.
Now on 1st down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Monday, down. 280.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. 23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Play action. Now it's Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues. Throwing on first down is Carr. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints get a bit closer. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Lutz good on the extra point as this gets him back within a touchdown and a two-point conversion. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll start on the ground with McCoy. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. Blue, landing. Blue.
They'll go again to McCoy. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. Now, the objective there, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Green 39. Green 39. Check 26. Check 26. Over.
Here's McCoy. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. Erickson is going to go for a big play downfield. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions add on to their lead. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Carr now on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Williams. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Get down.
On play action, it's Carr. This will be caught inside the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you're wondering why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Important extra point up and through as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And the Lions are able to cover this one out. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3-and-out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Now a 20th carry here for McCoy. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. And the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Check, press.
They'll run it with McCoy. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. McCoy's got the first down and more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. LaShawn McCoy, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now up to 14. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help. No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone. It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go. If you love pressure, I love it. Let's see if they dial it up this drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it. They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And now it's 2nd down. Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free. Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Carr. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Ziggy Ansah. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now Carr, gotta have this one. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Detroit, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
My business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not in Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
Hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you a rough average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back in my day. Where they had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why hate rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm not in Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you're short a few. Oh no, hold up. Come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been swimming through the process and you can't see me on the likeness. You can proceed, but